Here we are for Pub Battle's Waterloo campaign June 18th scenario replay. June 18th because it includes the Wavre battle and the Waterloo battle. If you're just playing the Waterloo battle, then the various Prussian corps come in at their assigned times. By playing both, the Prussian arrival is uncertain. Now it's not one of the rules, but I always start the battle with the Grand Battery opening fire. So I pull out Napoleon's chit and we roll to the Grand Battery's attacks. Now one of the new Fog of War rules that will be included in the next edition of the rules. Disclaimer. Anything you hear me say about the rules isn't official until you see it in the rules. Is where instead of turning the flipping the counter label side up when it's spent, you flip the label over so it's upside down. So your enemy can't hunt and pick and say, I'm going to get that guy and that guy and that guy. You're looking at, you don't know what the enemy's got going. I played with this a few times and I really like it. So you shouldn't see, unless I forget, because I do that too, you shouldn't see any labels sticking up. Everyone looks fresh. Now we switch to the Wavre map. Now we move to early afternoon combat. French 3rd Corps charging Prussian 3rd Corps. The French are driven back, but the Prussians have lost a block. And over here on the Waterloo sector, Riley's 2nd Corps has charged Papillon. The British have been driven from Papillon. And we move on to turn 2 of the 7-turn game. On the Prussian side. Van Damme's troops cross the River Dial and continue their drive into the Prussian 3rd Corps. The Prussians give ground, but the French lose a block. And the French are throwing their full effort into breaking the British line. Alright, this has been quite the battle. Huguemont still holds. The French have sacrificed 2 blocks trying to take it. So far the British line all along the way is held, but how long can that go on for? 1st and 4th Corps of the Prussians are beginning to be present. The French 3rd and the Prussian 3rd Corps are battling around Wavre. The French 4th Corps is beginning to come out of column and press against the Prussian 2nd Corps. But again, 1st and 4th Corps are sliding away. They're getting to Waterloo. The thick woods are limiting the attack routes for the Prussians, but they're getting through. It's turn 3. Will the British hold? Over to Wavre. Afternoon combat, Picton's men holding a Papillon. Combat in Papillon is bloody and inconclusive. Who could ever reinforce it first will have the fortification. And a terrible hole has been opened up. La Haye-Saint has fallen. Turn 4. Now over on the Wavre front, the French 4th Corps and the Prussian 2nd Corps are preparing for battle, which means the Prussian 2nd Corps isn't going to be making it over into Waterloo. But 1st and 4th Corps have, and it appears to be just in time, as the British have lost an important strong point, La Haye-Saint, in the center of the battle, although the French infantry is almost spent. Riley's 2nd Corps has very few troops left. They only have 1 block of infantry. Durland has been shelling Huguemont ineffectively and is getting ready to assault that fortress. Everything still hangs in the balance. Young Guard charges in, the Prussian dragoons fall back. French Guard Grenadiers attack Hougoumont. The Guard drives them from Hougoumont, but there's barely any left. Kielmansegg has been able to reoccupy Hougoumont just in time to get Durland's artillery fire. Now, as we turn to turn 4 combat, there's a lot going on. The Prussian hussars had charged what French troops remained, and the bags are right here. But there was a block of guards here, and they charged to relieve the pressure. The hussars fell back. Over here on the British extreme left flank, the Prussian hussars have a dust-up with the French lancers under Subervie. The Prussians are on the line. Milhaud's cavalry drive was frustrated and came to nothing. Your Kellerman's cavalry, the last block that he has. British bags are right here. But the Brunswickers have moved up to make the defense tougher. Your Durland is hitting Hougoumont with everything he has. His lancers are running around and they're running into Clinton's men. All along the line, the French attack has stalled. Clinton's men took down the lancers. In Hougoumont, there are just remains of both elements that were fighting in there. Who can reinforce it first? Turn 5. Boom! The Prussian landwehr are scattered. The French Guard attacks the exhausted Brunswickers. Brunswickers go down. Can the French Guard cavalry save the day? First, the Guard's heavy cavalry charges into Uxbridge's household guard cavalry. The French heavy cav is forced to fall back. The Guard's lancers, they have charged the bags, but the bags are being guarded by the British cav. Although the British cav puts up a heroic defense, they are no match and they fall back. The bags are captured. Now the Guards use the charge rule when they attack, so that attack happens in the movement phase. And they were the second chit drawn, so there's a lot of turn left. But all the British can try to do is survive. The trick for Napoleon now is to reorient his army and face these Prussians. All his corps are exhausted. He has lost 8 blocks. His army breaks at 13, so he has 5 more blocks. But here 6 corps bags are trapped in front of these woods. They can't move through the woods, and they're being surrounded by the Prussians. Prussian artillery fires. Lobau's artillery fires. Prussian 3rd Corps artillery fires. Alright, now there's lots of action on the Wavre front. The effort to drive the French back across the dial. It is a resounding success. Girard's attack on the pesky Prussian artillery. Prussian Grape invites them to reconsider their plan of action. And here, the Prussian attempt to relieve the pressure. Though the French block is spent, the landwehr are scattered, and the Prussians fall back. And here we have dragoon on dragoon action. Though it is indecisive. And on the Waterloo battlefield, the Prussians drive forward, and the French cavalry simply falls back. The trapped and surrounded British troops on the far west flank are lost. And now Bülow's 4th Corps. The Prussians are driven back, but the French have nothing left. And here, the Young Guard is surrounded. With nowhere to run, the Young Guard is surrounded, cut off. The French have now lost 11 of 13 possible before they break. 2 more, and they're gone. They must destroy 7 more Prussians. Will the difference be made up over here in Wavre? Prussian artillery fires on Lobau's artillery. Prussian 4th Corps artillery fires. Wavre front. French 4th Corps artillery fires. Van Damme's artillery fires. Alright, now we're turn 6 combat. Now, important thing to note here is that Grouchy's army is 1 unit and has its own morale, distinct from Napoleon's army. Grouchy's army can suffer 7 losses. They have taken 2. While part of his corps fought a delaying action, Perch charged into the rear of Girard's troops, eliminating a block. Now we go over to the Waterloo side. French cav is running down the British running away, but Cook's men, as well as some saucy Dutchmen, have turned to face them. Though the Dutchmen are driven back, hot dice destroy the French. And over here, it was close but inconclusive. And here, Blucher drives on 2 French blocks of artillery. Let's see how that goes. The artillery fires first. The Guards' artillery drives back the Prussians. And with that, that is the 13th French loss. They are broke. We'll finish out the combat though. Prussian 4th Corps attacks the remnants of Riley's Corps in the flank. The French fight heroically and romantically, and both blocks are wiped out. They both fought to exhaustion. Now the one combat we've got left here is actually 4th Corps' drive on the French bags, who couldn't escape because they can't move through dense woods. So they are destroyed. So this turn the French lost bags and their army broke. So there it is. About 8:30 in the evening, the French army breaks. And this time there's no doubt that Blucher's Prussians decided the day. And that, my friends, was a really exciting game.